Chapel Hill. Running and working on the clock. Hill swinging free. He's open. He'll go.
January 1st, 1991. This was the day 35 years ago that the Colorado Buffaloes and Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets were both named national champions.
Hey, we did it! We came in, we did it. I got a quest.
This happened with neither team having faced one another all season due to the lack of any kind of playoff or national championship game.
I feel confident that no matter what happens tonight, Colorado, I think we'll be number one because I think we showed a lot of people we can play with the best of them.
As a matter of fact, they've never shared the field once in the history of their programs, and in the decades following that fateful New Year's Day, that has remained the case. That is until now. The first game of 2025 marks the first ever meeting between the Buffs and Jackets, with both teams trending in a positive direction, and hoping the conference championships lie just over the not-so-distant horizon.
We're training, that's what we're thinking. Let's focus together.
Everyone punch harder than the punch before.
As the eyes of the Rocky Mountains look on, a clash of gold will take place in Boulder, a matchup over 3 decades in the making.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to Scope Up Sports Weekly Live Show. I'm Mia Driscoll.
And I'm Jada Shore, and I'm so excited to kick off our first show of the fall semester.
We have so much in store for you this season, and as football's first home game is tomorrow night, right here in Boulder, we just couldn't wait, and we're here a day earlier than usual.
So with that, let's get things started and send you over to Folsom Feud.
Football season is back in Boulder, and we are here to bring you the very best of it. I'm Harrison Simeon alongside Colby Wyatt, and this is Folsom Feud, as we have the Colorado Buffaloes taking on the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets to begin the 2025 regular season tomorrow at 6 p.m. on ESPN. How are you feeling, Colby?
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling excited.
I am feeling absolutely ecstatic. Football, just the feeling in the air, a little fall tingle in the cold air. I mean, it's amazing. We made it. It was a long off season, a lot of expectations, a lot of balance of what the Buffs can do this season. But it all starts with who they lost. They lost Shedeur Sanders. They lost Travis Hunter. What are really you expecting from the first game of this iteration of Colorado?
Well, I'm expecting a lot of things. I'm expecting a different play style. We don't have Shedeur to kind of just play hero ball. Same with Travis Hunter. I'm expecting more runs, things like that. Of course, with Caden Salter now leading the bunch, more RPOs, that type of thing. And I'm also expecting, of course, to see a whole bunch of new, almost new faces at the wide receiving core. We lost four, including Travis Hunter, four wide receivers to the NFL, and now we got three guys who I think can absolutely carry us now.
Yeah, it's year three of Coach Prime, Deion Sanders in Boulder, and I really am looking forward to seeing what this team's identity is on the offense, because they got a lot back on defense, but you bring in Caden Salter, dual threat quarterback, and then you also add the element of Julian Lewis, freshman that they say they want to get in there periodically. So it's going to be really interesting. But we have to look up at what the Buffs are up against tomorrow night. Is Georgia Tech, the team on the rise, a program kind of accelerating towards prominence in the ACC. What do you look for from them as kind of one of the bigger threats to Colorado tomorrow night?
Well, of course, Georgia Tech, you have to think about their mindsets, their expectations, all of that are going to be playing into how they play. They're a team that's expected to even be competing for the ACC. And so really they're here to make a statement. They don't want to lose the first. Nobody wants to lose the first game of the season, of course. But if they do that, really let a lot of air out of the balloon that they're riding right now. And so they're going to come out hot. They're going to come out swinging. And really, what you're asking here is they're going to continue playing how they played last season. And that's with a dominant run game.
Yeah. Their dominant run game, Haynes King at quarterback. It starts at quarterback position, which is not like everybody's team. I mean, you could see this year with Colorado, with Salter being a guy that in just 2 years ago put up almost 1,000 yards rushing. But for Haynes King, I mean, he has 21 rushing touchdowns in the last 2 seasons, and not a guy that turns the ball over either. That was part of how Colorado's defense struggled last year. Didn't make any big plays. Struggled to get sacks. And Haynes just 2 interceptions last season. You add that with Jamal Haynes at running back, another senior. Got a lot of talent back on that offense. You want to talk about one of their newcomers at wide receiver, right?
Oh, yes, I did. I wanted to talk about Eric Singleton Jr.
Or no, it was Eric Rivers. I got Singleton too.
Eric Singleton Jr. transferred out. He's now at Auburn, and he was their main producer for the wide receiver core last year. So how did they replace him? They replaced him bringing in Eric Rivers from Florida International University. Last year he put up 1,000 yards and 14 touchdowns. I expect him to have a big game, probably the biggest game out of all their wide receivers.
One of the bigger questions about Haynes King is can he throw the ball downfield? That's a big threat for them. Also, they got Malik Rutherford, at the position as well. A guy that can go through the air and on the ground a little bit. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the Buffs defense can stop that offense. I think the biggest key is can they keep contained? They got a lot of edge rushers that stood out last season, but they did lose B.J. Green, can Samuel Okunlola, can Arden Walker, Keaton Wade, can they hold their ground and prevent some of those bigger plays from King and like you said with Rivers. So now I want to move on to what we think is going to happen. The long-awaited question, our score predictions today. What do you got?
Well, I got for me, it's all going to come down to how well Colorado can contain the Georgia Tech run game. And I think they'll be able to at least enough. And so I think Colorado wins this one 28-20.
See, I have a little bit of a different perspective about the run game. I know Colorado brought in a lot on the interior of their defensive line. Jaheim Otis, the biggest one. They got Gabriel Lightfoot from Fresno State. Tavian Coleman from Texas State. They may go with some returners starting slots. Amari Neal at defensive tackle as well. But ultimately, I do think that this rushing attack by Georgia Tech might be a little too much to handle for the Buffaloes. I actually got a close game, kind of a slugfest at first, but I got Georgia Tech actually taking it home on the road in Folsom with the packed house, 24-20. Well, that's all we got. I hope you guys enjoy tomorrow night's action. Alongside Kobe Wyatt, I'm Harrison Simeon, and tune in tomorrow at 6 p.m. on ESPN. We'll be there to give you all the coverage you'll need.
And with that, it's time to introduce our brand new sister show, SBS Football Live, which premiered earlier this week. Our best football reporters sat down and discussed their predictions for the Buffs opener against the Yellow Jackets.
All right. So who do you have taking this game?
I hate the fact that I'm going first. I am going with Georgia Tech. I'm going with the Yellow Jackets. I know. It's a tough one. I think it's going to be a really close game. I think it's going to be low scoring, but I think Haynes King in that rush attack is going to be a little too much with the Colorado defense that's still trying to congeal on the interior, and then for the offense, a lot of those unproven wide receivers against really good secondary. It's a unique challenge. I don't know if they're quite ready for this early in the season.
I think first half slugfest going to be a war of attrition in the first half. I think in the second half, I think Colorado opens things up. I think this game goes 28-24 Colorado in overtime. That's what I foresee. And I think it's going to be a Caden Salter rushing touchdown to put it away.
You know what? Caden Salter era is here, Patrick Dawson. I'm glad you brought up that name. I think the new running game, the revamped regime, 3 offensive line coaches, we are going to see some smash mouth Colorado football we haven't seen in years. I'm 100% bought in. Give me Colorado.
I love the Buffs. I love this team. Dude, Georgia Tech, Kyle Efford on that defense is scary. That guy is he's going to hurt the run game. Haynes. All right, so who do you have taking this game?
I hate the fact that I'm going first. I am going with Georgia Tech. I am going with the Yellow Jackets. I know. It's a tough one. I think it's going to be a really close game. I think it's going to be low scoring, but I think Haynes King in that rushing attack is going to be a little too much.
Colorado matches up well, I think. I think they have a lot of good players.
Georgia Tech is a hard team to beat. But I'm to the last page of my notes here, and that actually says Buffs by 1,000,000. Give me the Buffs winning this game and starting off the season with a win.
The 2025 Buffs roster is very dependent on the performance of newcomers showing up and showing out. Whether they be true freshmen or transfers, we put together a list of some important names you might have forgotten over the recruiting cycle. An unforgettable name, of course, is senior quarterback and Game 1 starter Caden Salter. The Liberty transfer led one of the most exciting mid-major seasons of the decade and is hoping to level up with the strength of Power 4 offense. Salter will look to several transfers to overhaul the offensive line and provide him with a more consistent pocket than we saw last year. With a 6'7", 340-pound frame, Xylon Chrysler brings an impressive size and experience, having played at Illinois under Brett Lama for 3 years before landing at CU. He will be joined by fellow transfer Xavier Hill, who brings his own tenure, having been a part of both Memphis and LSU's teams over the course of his career. These are just a few fresh faces looking to prove themselves on a brand new squad under Coach Prime.
All right, Buffs fans, it's now time for our weekly trivia question. Colorado has never played Georgia Tech in football, so this season opener is their first ever matchup. But thinking back a bit, which ACC team did Colorado face in their most recent bowl game against the conference?
On Tuesday, the University of Colorado announced that Ralphie VI, nicknamed Ember, would be retiring after 4 seasons of running the field, citing her disinterest in running. CU has been planning the 5-year-old Buffalo's replacement for several months and is currently training a Ralphie 7th. Colorado is yet to announce when the new Ralphie will make her first run, so the Buffs will not be running onto Folsom Field without Ralphie for the first time of the season. Ralphie VI made her debut in 2021 in the Buffs home opener against the University of Northern Colorado Bears. She has been the shortest-serving Ralphie since the mascot's introduction in 1966, only taking the field in 25 games, not including this year's spring game. Ralphie VI will become a companion to the Buffalo, enjoying her life with her predecessor, Ralphie V, on their ranch.
The surprise departure of Ember the Buffalo just days before the season opener has been a contested issue across the Colorado fandom. Here to discuss the point of contention are Kieran Warger and Shane Holcomb.
Well, folks, it is official. Ralphie VI has officially been retired after just 4 seasons running here at the University of Colorado, taking to Folsom Field for those last 4 seasons. It was incredible, but this last season in 2024 was a rough one, to say the least. Multiple times where she had to be pulled off the field because of inclement weather, or she was just tired. So it's a bit of a rough day for Buff fans, but nonetheless, we shall hope that a new Ralphie comes along shortly. I'm Kieran Warger. And who am I here with? Shane Holcomb. Yeah, welcome to the show, man. It's an honor to have you here. So, obviously, we were talking about this a little bit off air, but this is your first season, or first year here at CU, rather. What's your overall take on hearing this news about Ralphie retiring?
You know, it's a little disappointing, but then when you also learn that Ralphie had absolutely no ability to run past the 50-yard line last season. Kieran, I'm wearing the McLaren shirt right now. Those cars go fast. Ralphie did not go fast for the last couple months as a CU Buff. So it's probably for the best of her health, but for a student here, I'm sure there'll be a lot of disappointment, I'm sure. But going forward, hopefully we can get Ralphie 7 on the field soon for the Oregon game.
Yeah, well, the timetable is unknown right now as to when Ralphie 7 will take to the field. But in the meantime, Ember will be hanging out with Ralphie 5 out on the ranch. And it'll be a good retirement for her. The Ralphie handlers thought it was in her best interest to just relax because that's what she enjoys doing most. And going forward this season, it's going to be disappointing for especially you incoming students to not witness the same experience that I witnessed my first 2 years here at CU. But overall, I'm pretty happy that she will get to live a nice, relaxed lifestyle out on the ranch and just be herself. She won't have the stress of people coming into the stadium.
Yeah, listen, I mean, there won't be another Ralphie, right? I mean, it won't be with Ralphie 5, but Ralphie 6 and 7 will be in the future. And listen, if it's the best interest for Ralphie, I think that's the best interest for CU as well. There'll be many more home opportunities where new students like me can see the Ralphie run, so it's not the end of the world.
Absolutely, and I mean, my first year here back in 2023, she was rather energetic. I wouldn't call her super energetic like Ralphie 5 was. I'd seen clips of that from several years ago, from 2013 in fact. But it was exciting first season, and really last year was kind of when she really started to show signs that she did not want to be doing this anymore. Barely even trotting out to the 50-yard line, and handlers having to pull her back in early. So it was time to go. The adrenaline was not the same. The energy in the stadium, you could tell it dwindled tremendously when she failed to run out there.
Yeah, I mean, listen, like CU, they won't have the Ralphie run against Georgia Tech tomorrow night, but they're gonna have to come out hot, right? I mean, there won't be that excitement necessarily that there usually is at full field, but I don't think it'll affect CU's performance in the first quarter and going.
Absolutely, this is a 1990 national championship rematch between these two teams. So Coach Prime is him. He can bring this energy, a lot of excitement around Caden Salter starting QB, and just the team as a whole. So I think they can handle the excitement on their own for sure. Just coming out of that tunnel, the energy in this stadium is going to be happening tomorrow night at 6 p.m. for sure. But anyway, that's all we got here, folks. Shane Holcomb. I'm Kieran Warger. We'll send you guys back to the desk.
Thanks, guys, but it truly won't feel the same without Ralphie tomorrow. And while Colorado readies for kickoff in Boulder, a wave of former Buffs tested their luck in NFL preseason. Heisman Trophy winner Travis Hunter had a mostly quiet intro with the Jacksonville Jaguars, missing 2 of the 3 games due to a minor injury. Still, he's set to play receiver and quarterback. Outside noise enveloped quarterback Shedeur Sanders with the Cleveland Browns, but ultimately he'll be their 3rd string. Wideouts LaJonte Wester, Jimmy Horn, and Xavier Weaver, along with undrafted defensive end BJ Green, shined bright and captured 53-man roster spots. Cameron Stillman-Craig, Will Shepard, and Derek McClendon joined practice squads, rounding out the 9 Buffaloes who played for Coach Prime on NFL teams.
Another Buff who could have gone pro is cornerback Preston Hodge. The starting Nickelback was given one last year to play for CU, and while he didn't expect it, he's embracing it. Take a look.
Preston Hodge thought it was over. The defensive back spent a year in Navarro Junior College in Texas before getting his big break with the Liberty Flames. And after joining the Colorado Buffaloes last offseason, he just kept stacking. But once injury cut his stellar senior season short, time was up. Until it wasn't.
Excited. I have a son and a wife at home, so once I saw that, we went and celebrated. It was a blessing from God, and I wouldn't change it for the world, how anything went down.
Hodge was a craftsman in the slot, and all Big 12 honorable mentions despite missing Colorado's last 4 games. He could have taken the NFL route, but after a court ruling awarded all JUCO athletes an extra year eligibility, he's back in black and gold. There was never any doubt.
God blessed me with another year this year, and I promised myself that I wouldn't be the same Preston. So I decided to switch my number to number 4 and just be a better version of me, which is step out my comfort zone and try to be that leader, try to be that dog, and that's what I've done.
In addition, Colorado has lost an abundance of senior leadership, leaving a greater void for Hodge to fill this fall.
Preston has come miles and miles away how he's practicing and how he's coaching this year. that feeds on the rest of the guys in that room.
With the Buffs just days from kickoff against Georgia Tech, Hodges maintained experience and renewed mindset will come together in one unexpected curtain call. A true hodgepodge, if you will. In Boulder, Harrison Simeon, Scope Buff Sports.
Now time for a look at the new segment this year. We're touching down at a different restaurant every week based on the recommendations from our very own football players. This week's lunch comes of courtesy of Draylon Miller.
What's up, everybody? I'm Lear Rivera, the fourth outside guy on Masala Burger, based on a very special recommendation of the one, the only Draylon Miller.
It's the burger one by the
Is burger in the name?
Yeah.
Is it Guy Masala?
I think so.
Guy Masala Burger with the big bag?
Yeah. That's exactly it. So I'm actually wasn't a fan of the Hill, but it's like every home game, my parents be like, going to the Hill after the game, so I'd be like, it just be fun. So I always grab some food from there after the game.
Here we are checking out the burger, of course, the main thing. We decided to get the plain cheeseburger, only ketchup, nothing crazy on it. Let's go ahead and take a look. All right, let's take the first bite. Real good. Real good stuff here. Really thick. Good cheese. Nice cheese pull. Really soft bread. Crispy. But delicious. Kind of gives like In-N-Out vibes almost.
Look inside.
One thing we had to get the fries and the sauce on the side. This is versatile, just like Draylon Miller's versatile on the field.
So start the best player on the backfield. Over the middle.
His favorite player is Debo Samuel. Just shows you the kind of guy he is, and the player he strives to be on the field.
Ever since I got to like eighth grade, freshman year of high school, it's always been Debo Samuel. And you know, just his versatility and the way they move him around. And coming out of high school, that's what I emphasize every visit, every school I visit. I want to be just like Debo Samuel.
It seems like a year ago he was a young guy in a wide receiver room. Now he has risen his way to the top. Expected to be premier player in this offense. Look at that, dipping in French fry into the cup, just like Draylon Miller hopes to be dipping in the end zone this fall. Draylon Miller and the Buffs are really looking forward to playing Georgia Tech at home this Friday, just like I'm really looking forward to finishing this burger. And you know what? Normally I would give this about a 10 out of 10 on the scale, but because Draylon Miller recommended it, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 6. Wow, that was fantastic. Thank you so much to our friends again at Guy Masala Burger. Make sure you guys could check it out on the Hill. Here's the address posted. Again, thank you so much. Back to you guys at the desk.
Welcome to Folsom Feud. I'm your host, Colby, here with 3 contestants today, Lincoln, Balin, and Kieran. Lincoln, start us off.
I'll take game day etiquette for 200.
All right. This is the best way to show respect during the CU fight song.
What is standing, singing loud, and raising your hand in the hook 'em horn sign?
Not what we're looking for. Balin, you have an answer?
What is stand up, sing loud, and do the Ralphie horns?
Correct. Balin, the board is yours.
Give me tailgate traditions for 400.
All right, here's the answer. The must-have item to wear on game day to show your Buff pride. Kieran?
What is black and gold?
That's correct. Nothing says school spirit like those 2 colors. Choose the next one.
Let's do fan etiquette for 600.
Fan etiquette. the proper response when you hear someone yell, "Go Buffs"?
What is Skull Buffs?
Skull Buffs is right. Looks like we've got some true Buffs fans here. But thank you all for tuning in. Thank you to our contestants, and see you next time.
Before we get into the rest of the fall sports, our very own Oliver Hayes kept up with the one sport that got to play games this summer. Take it away, mate.
Go on.
I know it's football season, but the basketball team has been busy at work. My name's Oliver Hayes, and I'll tell you all about it. The Carver men's basketball team completely retooled this offseason. They only returned 5 players, brought in 7 freshmen, and brought in 2 transfers as well. And on top of that, they got to go down to Australia for 4 exhibitions where they saw teams like the Australian men's national team and the Sydney Kings. They got to see NBA talent among other professional talent, and they actually proved to play pretty respectable even though they went 2-2. Here's who showed out in the trip down under. At the point guard position, the Buffs completely overhauled. They brought in UC Riverside transfer Barrington Hargress and 2 freshmen Isaiah Johnson. They looked to facilitate the offense and take care of the ball, as the Buffs were one of the most turnover-prone teams in Division I basketball last year, but they bring a scoring spark as well. Hargress was a starter, and at UC Riverside, he averaged 20 points per game last season. And as a junior, he looks to score the ball, but he'll look to facilitate the offense, like I said, and he dished out a bunch of assists down in Australia. Isaiah Johnson coming off the bench looks to bring more of a scoring spark, and boy, he did, scoring a team-high 19 points against the Australian men's national team. At the combo guard position, the Buffs have a lot of players to pick from. They returned guard Felix Casares and redshirt freshman Andrew Crawford, but they also brought in Denver transfer John Manny and true freshman Josiah Sanders, Ian Inman, and Jalen Holland. Holland, Casares, and Crawford got the starting bids as defense and rebounding proved to be the most important down under, but they all shot the ball well as the Buffs shot 44% from the three-point land against the Boomers. At the center position, the Buffs returned one of their oldest players in 6-year big man Elijah Malone. He averaged in double digits down under on a high shooting percentage and also looked a lot more mobile. Behind him was freshman big man Leonardo Van Elswick, who stands 7'1" and brings a lot more touch to the offensive side. He showed out a little bit in Australia, scoring 14 points in one of the matches, but obviously has a little bit more work to do as a freshman. Behind him were freshmen Afayola Takafawaz and Alone Mikaeli, but those two weren't able to travel down under due to the restrictions. However, their games are a lot different than Van Elswick's and Malone's, and will look to bring a different fold to Colorado's rotation in the front court this season. Looking at the forwards, that's the Buffs' most anticipated position, because they returned junior Bangat Dak and sophomore Sebastian Ranchik. Dak, he didn't play down under because he had knee surgery this offseason. However, he looks like he'll be healthy by preseason. Ranchik, on the other hand, looks like he's shaping up well for a sophomore year leap. He scored 25 points in one game and had double digits in others. He also showed an improved shooting stroke. The Buffs have a long way to go to remedy their rough return to the Big 12 last season, and obviously there's still a few months before the season opener. While you guys are enjoying football, there's a lot to look forward to with the basketball team.
Thanks, Oliver. The Colorado Buffs women's soccer team is on a roll 4 games into their 2025 campaign, beginning their season at home on Prentup Field with a 1-1 tie against the number 12 ranked Michigan State. It only took until the 4th minute of the Buff season to get on the board as Hope Leba got her own rebound off a shot and put it home. That Sunday, the Buffs hosted the Air Force Academy, collecting a 4-1 win as Jace Hawley found the back of the net twice, and Jordan Knights again was excellent with a season high of 7 saves. Last Thursday, the Buffs hosted Fordham, where Hope Leba shone with her first career hat trick as Emerson Lane put in 2 in the back in the net herself. In the Buffs' 7-1 win, 12 different Buffs found the score sheet in CU's program history, tying 8-0 win over UNC Greensboro last Sunday. Sitting on a 3-0-1 record 2 weeks into the season, CU received top 25 votes in the latest United Soccer Coaches poll. Hope Leba leads all Buffalo scorers and is tied for the nation's lead in goals and points with 7 goals and 14 points. Jordan Knights remains an anchor in the backfield with 15 saves on 17 shots on a goal faced, good enough for its second across all Big 12 teams. The whole team has pitched in. 15 different Buffs have found the score sheet through 4 games this season, as the Buffaloes lead the nation in total points, assists, and goal differential.
Hope is high at Prentup as junior striker Hope Leba was named Big 12 Co-Offensive Player of the Week after back-to-back multi-goal games. Against the Fordham Rams, Leba scored the 8th hat trick in program history. Versus UNC Greensboro, she scored a brace en route to a record-tying win for Colorado. The striker has scored in every regular season game and already put the ball past the keeper 7 times, a mark that led the nation as of Tuesday.
The undefeated Buffs soccer team looks to win their 4th match in a row tonight when they take on New Mexico State Aggies. Through 4 games, the Aggies are 1-3 and have only scored 2 goals, while CU strikers Hope Leba and Jace Hawley have combined 12 goals in 4 games. The high-flying Buffs attack that has scored 20 times in 4 games hopes to continue bagging goals against the Aggies. Kickoff is set for 7 p.m. Mountain Time.
CU continues its season against another undefeated side, the Wyoming Cowgirls. Wyoming has 2 wins and a draw to no losses, with both victories coming against Colorado schools. They took down Northern Colorado and Regis up in Laramie, but we'll find out if they can do the same against the Red Hot Buffs in Boulder on Sunday at 1 p.m. Both of this weekend's matchups can be followed on ESPN Plus or SBS social media platforms.
The Colorado Buffaloes volleyball team is back in action to start their season following a great black and gold game last week. The Buffs are on the road in Wyoming for the Rumble in the Rockies. After a few games in Laramie, they'll travel out west for the UCI Adidas Invitational in Irvine, California. If you are a Buffs volleyball fan wanting a chance to see Colorado in person, you'll have to wait until September 12th for their home opener versus Arkansas.
The cross-country program is set to begin its 2nd season under the director of cross-country and track field coach, Sean Carlson. Carlson believes that the men's team can build upon their results last year to get the team back to nationals and hopes that a wave of new women's recruits can get the women's team there as well. This team will get their first chance to run on Saturday at the Wyoming Invite. Switching gears ahead of tomorrow's football game at Folsom, we have Colby Wyatt with the game's weather. Take it away, weather boy.
Hello, I am Colby Wyatt here with the weather for this week's CU football game. Now, starting off at kickoff, it's going to be about 70 degrees. There is a 25% chance of rain. And then we're going to move into about halfway through the game, halftime. It's going to go down a little bit to about 67 degrees. And at the end, it's going to drop all the way down to 61 degrees. Throughout the whole game, it's going to be pretty cloudy. There's also going to be, like I said, a chance of rain throughout the whole game, especially at the beginning and especially at the end. So if you're attending the game, keep all that in mind. And one more thing before you go. What did one raindrop say to the other raindrop? Two's company, three's a cloud. That's all I have for you. My name is Colby Wyatt. Back to the desk.
Here we see Xavier McNevitz working on his reader for the live show. If we didn't have these readers done by Thursday night, chances are we would not be airing this show right now. Be like Xavier. Get your readers done. And don't forget to click save so that you don't lose any of your hard-earned work.
Hey Buff fans, I'm Hannah Howell here with this week's Rapid Fire. The school year has officially started, and that means we're diving into all things sports. To start us out, we have the Buff soccer team hosting New Mexico State tonight. They will be playing at 7 at home at Prentup Field. And if one soccer game wasn't enough for you, you're in luck. They will be playing again this coming Sunday against Wyoming. Once again, they will be at Prentup Field, but this time at 1 p.m. And if you can't make those games in person, you can always tune in to support them at ESPN+. Moving on to volleyball, they have a busy weekend ahead of them. Starting out their season at the Rumble in the Rockies, hosted in Laramie, Wyoming. They start out with playing Cleveland State tomorrow, the 29th, then moving on to playing against Tulsa on the 30th, and ending their weekend with one more match against Wyoming on the 31st. The first serve for all 3 of the matches will be at 1 p.m., and you can watch them on Mountain West Network. And last, but certainly not least, Buffs football is back. CU will be hosting Georgia Tech right here at home at Folsom Field tomorrow. Kickoff is scheduled for 6 p.m. They have a sold-out stadium and lots of eyes on this team for the home opener. Once again, I'm Hannah Howell. That's all for this week's Rapid Fire. Back to you at the desk.
We hope you have your answers ready, as earlier in the show we asked you, who was the most recent ACC team the Buffaloes faced in a bowl game? And the answer is, drumroll please, Clemson in the 2005 Champs Super Bowl. The number 23 Tigers would beat Colorado 19-10 after a late dagger pulled in the game on ice. The Champs Sports Bowl has since been rebranded to the beloved Pop-Tarts Bowl, one of the most coveted bowl destinations in college football.
It's time for today's tweet of the week. Yesterday, Travis Hunter announced the birth of his first child with his wife, Leanna Lene. In a YouTube video called Dear Son, Hunter documented from the day they learned they were going to be parents to being drafted by Jacksonville and most recently, the day his son was born. Let's take a look. We congratulate Travis and Lene.
All right, we're coming out of
Wait, is it going? There's the baby. my next one.
We're about to leave for Green Bay. Say hi to the baby. We're gonna find out where Daddy's gonna be.
And when you gonna grow up.
And where you're gonna be born.
You going to do girl, baby. See, and then you gonna come up and you gonna be like me. You gonna get drafted to Jacksonville.
Do you have a message for the baby?
Gotta be better than me.
That wraps up our first week back at Scope of Sports. I know we've enjoyed it, and we hope you did too.
Thank you all for joining us, and we're so excited to kick off another action-packed year. We've been your hosts.
I'm Mia Driscoll.
And I'm Jada Shore, and you heard it here first.